Alright, so this is a tutorial on how to do 3D of page 202. So we need to find sine of theta if cosine of theta equals negative 5 over 13 and theta is greater than pi but less than 3 pi over 2. So looking at our unit circle here, we know that pi is the equivalent of 180 degrees and 3 pi over 2, let's see if I can actually hold this straight. 3 pi over 2 is the equivalent of 270. So we know that we're looking at the third quadrant. So we are going to set up an equation here. To find sine of theta. So sine of theta squared plus cosine of theta squared equals 1. And we already have the value of cosine of theta, which is negative 5 over 13. So let's put in sine of theta squared plus negative 5 over 13 squared equals 1. So what we're going to do now is take sine of theta squared, and we are going to square our value for cosine. So we're going to have 5 squared, which is 25, over 13 squared, and I'm going to take out a calculator to do that. Oh, come on. This thing is so... $169. So we're going to put 25 over 169, and we have equals 1. So then we're going to isolate sine of theta squared, and we're going to have sine of theta squared equals, and we have to subtract 25 over 169 from 1. So I'm going to see, well, hang on, I can do this mentally, I swear. 169 minus 25 is 144. Yeah, 144. So we have 144 over 169. There we go. And we're going to isolate sine over theta completely by finding the square root of this value here. So we have sine of theta square rooted equals 144 over 169 square rooted. So anything with a square, if you square root that, it's just going to be the value without the square. So we have sine of theta equals, and the square root of 144 is 12. And I think the square root, yeah, we just did that. Square root of 169 would be 13. So we have, wait a minute, that's not right. That can't be right. I know, yeah, it is right. Okay, so we have sine of theta equals 12 over 13. But because we have the square root here, it's going to be plus or minus. But we know from looking at our unit circle earlier that we're dealing with just the third quadrant. And so we're finding sine, and sine is the same as the y value. And in the third quadrant, both values are negative. So we know that we can only accept the negative value of 12 over 13. So, that's my thumb. I'm so sorry. So sine of theta equals negative 12 over 13. And there you have it. I'm sorry for the shaky camera work.